With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove, Neighbor Nation! We will see you on Saturday afternoon! Riley Meister gets the point!
Back into left field! Say goodnight to that baseball!
This is another one! It's back-to-back jacks for KSU Tuscarawas! Needs a point, and it's alive! Hanson pushes it over! Unbelievable! We play on! It's blocked! We're tied! We're tied! Unbelievable!
It's a non-conference rivalry at the Rockhill Soccer Complex in Alliance. This is OHSAA Soccer on SmeeSports in partnership with Skyward Studios. A fun one tonight on tap as the Alliance Aviators play host to the Louisville Leopards. Hello, friends. Nathan Smee and Cooper Fontaine on the call for you today live on SmeeSports. We're back in action, back with the Aviators. A fun matchup here for Alliance as they welcome on two town-over rivals, Louisville.
Yeah, and you said non-conference. Well, that's not conference anymore. There used to be a little bit of discourse within the NBC. Now the Aviators are in the soon dissolving EBC, but this is a rivalry and across many sports as well.
You look at tonight's matchup and across the board, I feel like the word to describe it is inactivity, because there are a lot of key inactives tonight across the board for both teams. On Louisville's end, according to their head coach, they will be without Gianna Cruz, the junior, and Reese Riley, their senior captain. As for Alliance, it's a loss that they will have for the entire season that you and I both just know how much it hurts the team, Royal Hawkins.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, my word was going to be questionable, but I think I like inactivity better. And I completely agree with you. These are all like valuable key pieces of each team, and I think we cannot understate how valuable they are for their team. And while it'll still be a good game, it's not going to be the same that it would have been with these players active.
Not at all. And you and I both know and hope anytime we see any team, no matter if it's a rival or not, we want to see the best players possible. You don't want to have that asterisk next to a win because X, Y, and Z didn't play that game. Now, tonight for Alliance, a lot is on the line. They want to stay above 500 and not teeter below that line once again. They worked hard on Monday to get above that line with that 3-0 win over Barberton. Is that a big enough chip on their shoulder to get this win tonight? I know they lost last year to Louisville, but this is a new Leopards team as they lost a lot of key pieces from last season.
And this is also a fresh Aviators team under a new head coach. Obviously, Matt Horning, one of the best coaches in recent memory. He did a great job, won a district championship, but now Coach Doak taking over the team. We got to see what he can do. We're only a few games into the season, but I think this will be a big test for both teams to see, kind of how they respond to their newly minted and changed rivals.
I have to talk about the goalkeeping change as well for Alliance. A lot of it last year was Bailey Young filling in as a substitute. She is not a goalie by trade by any stretch of the imagination. Now Stella Jackson, the junior, steps in this season, allowing 2.25 goals a game, better than last year's 2.6. How has she grown into this role? Alliance known for good goalkeeping, and I would even say Marlington as well, known for good goalkeeping, with this year having Brock Swisher and the former softball and now softball and goalkeeper for soccer, McKenna Metz.
I think it's tough. For a player like Stella Jackson, the biggest thing last year was recovering from injury. She only played part of the season because she had a huge knee injury, and she was able to come back, and she had a solid rest of her season, like you said, across last year, averaging, only allowing 2.6 goals per game. Right now, that total is down, and I have to think for her, it's just getting back into the rhythm of things and, remembering how it was. And I think she's done a great job doing that. The whole girls team really trying to get back to, I believe it was 2023 was the district championship. They all just want to get back in that same kind of form that they were in that year.
I would assume we are a few moments away from intros running, so we'll toss it over to you as they start, Cooper. For each team, what is one key to victory tonight?
I think for the Aviators, the key to victory is getting the ball to their best two scorers. In my eyes, that's Bailey Young and the freshman, Paisley Ritchie. They're both fantastic. Paisley has had a number of games, scrimmages, where she's had multiple goals. She is a freshman phenom, and I think that what we have on our hands for the Aviators is someone that you need to feed the hot hand, right? She's scoring well. You need to keep giving her the ball. For Louisville, you need to try and figure out the rotation with two key pieces missing. If they can move past that, I think that their fundamentals as a team will be able to carry them to victory.
A lot to go over tonight, but we'll save that for the 80 minutes of play. We'll toss it over to our public address announcer for our pregame introductions.
Is selected and assigned according to the procedures adopted by the Ohio High School Athletic Association. And now, let's meet our teams. First, the visitors. On reserve, senior captain number 25, Reese Riley. Senior number 3, Natalia Tanous. Junior number 11, Gianna Cruz. Junior number 2, Isabella Thrasher. Sophomore number 19, Olivia Ehlert. Sophomore number 4, Addie Schmidt. Freshman number 0 and 21, Olivia Hartenstein. And freshman number 20, Riley Ulrich. And now for the starting team. Senior captain number 1, Tristan Edgen. Senior captain number 24, Haley Polk. Senior number 6, Carolina Bell. Senior number 15, Ashley Arian. Junior number 9, Casey Lint. Junior number 20, Olivia Barthel. Sophomore number 10, Olivia Pauley. Emily Pauley. Sophomore number 5, Avery Mann. Sophomore number 18, Ava Wagner. Freshman number 8, Ruby Rodriguez. Freshman number 7, Sophia Malave. And now for the home team. Sophomore number 3, Addie Yost. Freshman number 6, Delilah Stevenson. Freshman number 13, Ellie Miller. Sophomore number 15, Bella Martinez. And sophomore number 26, Aaron Alexander. And for our starting team, Junior 00, Stella Jackson. Junior number 2, Gianna Caserta.
How you guys doing? Good.
Senior number 4, Miley Gross. Senior captain number 5, Bailey Young. Freshman number 7, Paisley Ritchie. Senior number 8, Natalie Austin. number 12, Jordan Lugara. Junior, number 21, Bria Edwards. Junior, number 27, Liv Bandy. Junior captain, number 28, Mariah Ritchie. And junior, number 30, Michaela Swanseller. Please rise for the singing of the national
Well, there you have it, our national anthem and our player introductions. Cooper, it is game time in Alliance, Ohio. I'm excited for this one.
Oh, man, it feels great. I mean, as we were over here, Ed Hall came over. There's so many people out here today. The fans are out. Photographers are out. The clouds are looking beautiful. Perfect weather. I mean, if this is not soccer game day, I don't know what is.
And I'll tell you what, if Ed Hall is in Alliance, one of two things is going to happen. One, Mikey Maloney is going to throw touchdowns for Mount Union. Or two, we are in store for one heck of a game. As we've said, it's an old rivalry back in the NBC days. Could it become a conference rivalry? It seems like the answer is no, unless Louisville were to change conferences again from the All-American. But you never know. 2 years, a long time in the landscape of high school sports, especially in regard to conferences. So only time will tell in that regard. But, man, I'm excited for this one. And I did notice during the anthem, if your hand over your heart, you do that cadence, the band cadence for the anthem, the extra few rhythmic beats almost, right when you get to, oh, say does that, stars at the end, yeah.
Yeah, you get the drum cadence in there. Da, 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 da,
there you go.
You have to. And that's my problem is I always find myself, tapping my feet, clap my hand, like silently, of course. But it's part of the environment. You got to love it. You really do.
With you being in band and with me announcing the band and being in choir for 3 years at Holy Name, it's just second nature to kind of hear that even if you don't actually hear it at the game you're covering.
I mean, we are just some versatile guys, I got to tell you. Play sports, announce sports, very musically talented, very handsome. I think that's irrelevant, but it's still true.
And you messed up the high five. There we go.
There we go.
Only took 2 attempts for that.
We're not good at high-fiving, but everything else,
everybody has a weakness, Cooper. And we found ours. It could be a lot worse. Time locally, 7:01. And I believe we are ready to go. We are underway.
Oh, man, it feels good.
It took a second. It definitely did take a second for them to get into rhythm and actually start the game. But we'll start this one at 7:01. Alliance there in their home blue jerseys. Louisville in their road white. I do have to say for the scoreboard, it's one of the best combinations that we are going to have all season. 2 beautiful color schemes.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the powder blue, navy white for Louisville, that's a great color scheme. Any time a school uses powder blue, I always love it. You know I love it because I go to Alliance, and we got the powder blue and the red. Like, it's a beautiful thing.
It just makes sense as this one is out for another throw-in. The pressure from both teams is going to be something to look at. We've seen teams play their high-line attacking brand of football quite often this season. You go back to Saturday, the Revere game. Revere played a high line for 15 minutes. Yesterday, for pretty much the entire 80, Marlington played their high line. If a team can establish a high line early on in this game, that team can dominate. Louisville places one inside the 18-yard box, and for the first time tonight, we will see Stella Jackson spring into action.
That one just simple to scoop up. She boots it over on this near sideline to Miley Gross.
Again, as we've said, a lot of new faces on this Alliance team. How do you think they gel together in a game like this? Of course, you've played some really tough teams as of late, but this is your first rivalry setting for a lot of these players.
Yeah, I think for a lot of them, they've just been fortunate enough to have a lot of preseason games and scrimmages to kind of get to play more together. Obviously, some of them have grown up playing with each other, and they've known each other for a long time. You look at even Bailey Young, who transferred from Marlington. She went to Alliance all up until middle school, and so I think that definitely plays a part in it.
And the Aviators bringing the pressure here. It's Ritchie trying to win it back. And numbers will get forward for the Aviators as they win this throw-in on the far sideline. So with Louisville building as much pressure as they did for the opening 2 minutes, Alliance, they look to flip the script here. And they have the numbers to do just that this time. Headed away and out for a goal kick. It will be Tristan Egan, the senior in between the posts for Louisville. 1 game played this season and 1 clean sheet. Doesn't really get much better than that.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's a perfect season so far.
That was in the 1-0 victory over Buckeye a few weeks back. You go back to this past weekend, they were supposed to play against Streetsboro. Due to the storms, their game ended up getting canceled. Of course, that Marlington game was one of the few that actually got to play along with Orville and Highland out in Berlin. But very few games actually played on Saturday. Theirs was canceled, but they do have that 1 win under their belt. And you go back to preseason, a solid 2-2 draw at Revere. So they know how to play in the tough games. They've been solid all season, albeit in a small sample. And this is their big opportunity to show what they can do. Of course, beating Buckeye was huge, as that is a defending district champion.
Yeah, and you talk about, games being played through the weather. I think that's a weird thing about soccer is it really, a lot of times, the main thing is thunder. But rain, turf, you can play on rain for a long time. I know we've played a few games here in the rain, but if you're on a dirt field, that's just a whole nother story.
And it just depends on the kind of field you're playing on. The turf, of course, more forgiving, but we saw Revere start to flood on Saturday. It could matter. But still, Louisville playing the higher line than Alliance. Only 1 opportunity for the Aviators. Really nothing going on it either, as this one is played away. Louisville building numbers again, trying to get this attack going. Nice ball up the wing, just needing numbers to get inside the 18-yard box. Played into the top of it. The Aviators needed to clear. They won't. Here's the shot, and here's the goal. Louisville strikes first just under 4 minutes in.
A good shot there, just chipped it in over the head of Stella Jackson. It's tough when you're that close to a goal to be able to react in time, especially to such a high ball. But, I mean, just beautifully played, perfect positioning, and Louisville takes the lead 1-0 with only 4 minutes down, like you said.
Just excellent creativity inside the 18-yard box. Perfectly falls for Emily Pauly. It's her first goal of the season. Had 1 goal, 1 assist last season, and already has that 1 goal tally. Less than 4 minutes into this matchup, which is big for her confidence going forward. And if history will teach us anything about this matchup or about how Louisville plays, their defense is in a really good spot going forward. But again, this is a different game. This is not Buckeye, and they have to understand that. But if they can hold up for the next 70-odd minutes, this one will be theirs. But Alliance, they also know they can press and they can get back in this game. Ritchie taken away in the center. Good defense by Barthel the Jr. And Louisville goes the other way. Avery Mann. Bailey Young able to win it back for the Aviators again. Numbers will get forward for Alliance. Young up the wing for Miley Gross. It'll be 2 Aviators, now 3 inside the 18. Gross crosses, no one home. Louisville able to clear. A great recovery for the Leopards. But Alliance, another chance on the far side. And it's a good job by Egan coming out for it, scooping it up for Louisville. Right in front of an Aviator, I believe that time being Jordan Bugera.
And that was 2 good opportunities in a row that the Aviators just have to capitalize on if they want to keep themselves in this game. You look at Louisville up 1-0 so early. That's what you want to be if you want to. That's where you want to be at if you want to win this game. But you have to answer. You have to answer, or else I think you will see a repeat of Alliance versus Streetsboro Boys, the game that we covered last week, where it was one early goal and then no response.
And that would be a worst-case scenario for the Aviators, especially at home. Louisville, another opportunity building here. But the defense just too strong for Alliance, but they will play this one out. Actually, I think they're going to say it stays in. Now it goes. I thought it initially did. I did not think that they did enough to keep that one in play.
Yeah, I think that one definitely, it took a little bit, but referees got there. So that'll be a throw-in on the far side for Louisville. Good field position for them.
Just looking for another good cross. Barthel skies this one. Rodriguez played on back. Gross able to pick it up for the Aviators. Just trying to get past these Leopards. There is a Louisville Leopard down. Slow to get up. She's able to rejoin the party. Now Bailey Young. Beautiful ball turn on the near sideline. And she looks to get off to the races, instead dispossessed by man. And this one poked away right back to the Leopards. That was Lintz. Got a piece of it. And again, she is going to go down. So the whistle will blow, and this could be our first stop of the clock. We'll see. For the time being, it runs, and I think they're going to say it'll run as she will sub out.
Oh, they just stopped it now at 33-18.
But you look at all the injuries that Louisville has already had this season. It's just another in a long line of unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to see if you are Louisville right now. 2 key players already out of the game, and you lose now a third starter. That is just not what you want to see as a player or a fan.
And for her going forward, you just need to make sure that she's healthy for those big games coming up. And even if not those, once you get to October in the postseason, she has to be good to go. It's Paisley Ritchie. Able to turn the corner. Numbers getting forward again for the Aviators. But a strong defense. Barthel, great work ethic up and down the wing. That work rate, one of the best that we have seen this season. And Bailey Young wastes no time getting this one right back into the mix. It's Gross on the near wing. Poke towards the 18. To the corner of the box. It's Bailey Young. She'll play one in. And picked up by Egan.
And a good try by Bailey Young. I like it. That's an honest attempt. You're one of the team's best scorers, if not the best. And I think that you have to take shots early and often.
Why not test this goalkeeper? Yes, she's been good all season, but it's one game. That only means so much. But Louisville might be in once again. It's Schmidt. But a nice bit of defense again by the Aviators. They'll get it up to Gross. And the counter looks to be on. Gross plays this one forward. The Leopards able to trap with Malave. Rodriguez goes central, trying to find Pauly, the goal scorer. Instead, dispossessed and back to Alliance. It's Sponsteller, plays it on the wing. Just too strong, and back to Louisville it goes.
Another good attack there building for the Aviators, but again, just not able to capitalize.
That is going to be the big thing tonight. You can build so many great chances in the midfield. It won't matter if you can't capitalize. If you don't score, it means nothing. It's as if it didn't happen. And Jackson, she'll come off her line and is able to pick it up. But another scary bit of defense. You get the play, yes. But Alliance shaky at the back of the opening 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think right there. And that's always a tough one as a goalie to know whether or not to come off your line. 2 Aviators there just collided and both went down. Glad to see they both get back up.
Looking at the attacking talent you have, though, you have enough to build a counter that can score. And they know they can. They just need to make it happen here. Ritchie poked out of play. This one will stay with Alliance. Paisley Ritchie so far this season, 3 goals, 1 assist as a freshman. She has been quite impressive. And for this Alliance team, a group that averages a goal and a half per game, they need a lot more from her as things stand. She has 3 of the 6 goals. Somebody else needs to do something as this one is booted out of play. That's the right play for Rodriguez. Just boot it out and live to fight another day. Rodriguez trying to apply that pressure, still Gross, plays it in, no one home. And Yarian clears for Louisville. But this Leopard defense, they are working well together. You have players going up and down the pitch, box-to-box fullbacks. We saw that last night with Tommy Miller and Marlington. If you have the stamina for it, it is one of the most dangerous roles you can play in this sport, especially when you look at a pro comparison being probably the best fullback in the game right now of Ashraf Hakimi of Morocco and PSG.
And that's one thing that we also talked about in that Alliance versus Streetsboro boys game is this, I mean, soccer is a game where your fitness is really put to the test.
This one headed inside the 18-yard box. No one home. And Louisville, they will play it out for an Alliance throw on the far side. But they're getting opportunities. They're creating good chances still. But this Louisville defense holding up well so far in the opening 10 minutes as Malave will get this one up the wing, and Louisville gets back on the counter.
I think if Louisville's, their conditioning and fitness stays true and their defense is able to be strong throughout this whole game, that'll be the difference maker.
A chance for a second here. Whistle blows first. As we will see where they bring this one back to. I think if play would have continued, that could have been a free kick for Louisville in a really dangerous area. Instead, they call it away before, and this will be an aviator kick. So 10 minutes in, Alliance exposed at the back to begin the game. It was just a perfect cross in on the reverb, found Pauly. Otherwise, Alliance has done enough defensively. But you and I both know the pressure from Louisville, it's not a flash in the pan. We are going to see this for the next 70 minutes. And probably later on in the game, we're going to see it in a more intense way once the stubs start making their way in, especially if you can get some key pieces like Casey Lind back in the game. But if Alliance scores, that changes the dynamic. As long as it's 1-0, Louisville is going to press. Alliance is going to do what they can to survive. But they have to change that dynamic at some point. That was the issue with Streetsboro. They didn't want to change their dynamic. They were okay with sitting back. They invited pressure. They gave up 2 goals. And by the time their offense realized they needed something, they had 10 minutes and couldn't muster up anything. It's a tough one, yes, but it's just the reality of the game. Especially the high school game. There are teams that are more willing to sit back and some that are willing to go out and do the extra play. But Louisville building again on the attack. Played out wide. Well too strong. It's out of play. It'll go for an aviator throw-in. But this is one of our quote-unquote middle games of the week. Game number 3 of 6. So after today, we'll have 2 more soccer and then 1 football on Friday. That's the fun one, Cooper, I'm sure, in your mind.
Oh, yeah. I yet to do a football game yet in my time on SmeeSports, so I think it'll be a good one, It'll definitely be a good one.
That'll be Alliance in Worcester on Friday, 5:30 pregame, 7 o'clock kick. But tomorrow night we're back with the Alliance boys team as they take on Lake. And then Saturday it's Tri-C. So a lot of good games coming up. This week it's perfectly balanced. We are pretty much seeing every single team once. And that's why I designed this week the way I did. We wanted to showcase as many teams as possible this week, and I feel like we've done just that. And still plenty of time left in this game to see other plays showcased than just the 1 goal. I'd be surprised if this one does end 1-0.
Yeah, I think, kind of like we talked about, both of these teams are going to bring pressure. And 1 goal in the first 4 minutes, that can't be it for the game. I don't want to jinx it, but you look at these 2 teams, Alliance and Louisville. That's not a 1-0 game.
Never is. If it's 1-0, you were going to see some crazy physicality at some point.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be yellows, maybe a red.
All the cards. Free kick played inside the 18 again. It'll fall for Paul. He can't get it cleanly. Now out to the wing, right across the face of goal. A good look on the back post, but it goes out for an Alliance goal kick. And again, they do just enough to survive at the back.
And also, I don't know if you noticed, but taking that free kick there, that was actually Louisville's goalie pushing all the way forward.
I like it.
Upfield. Yeah, I was going to say, I like that decision.
I think you do that as much as you can. It adds more pressure, and it makes it a lot more difficult to go and defend everybody. You have somebody else unaccounted for, essentially. On the near side, good pressure again by Ritchie, forcing her way up the pitch. But it'll go back to Louisville for a throw-in. The wingers have been working pretty hard so far, but still looking for that opening goal and really a good shot on target. That's what this team is missing right now. This one played on back to Jackson. I get why you do it there, but then she can't use her hands. It goes out for a goal kick in the end, but that's one of those plays, if you mess it up in the postseason, it is going to hurt a lot more.
That could be a costly decision right there.
Because the writing's on the wall with it. You just have to be careful going forward. Every single play matters in this game. Even if it's 8-0, if little mistakes start to creep in like this one, it could hurt. Louisville, they're in here. A great chance. They'll strike it. And it's across the face of goal again. I believe that was Ruby Rodriguez with the hit. Had the space perfectly, just couldn't find the net.
Yeah, and I think that right there, that all starts with the goal kick. You've got to get that cleared out of any pressure, and when you hit it straight to a Louisville defender, that is not the way to do it.
Not at all. Of course, you saw what happened with Matt Freese in the World Cup. It wasn't a goal kick, but played it right to the Belgium attack. Nothing else could have been done. You don't want one of those cases happening, especially tonight. Just depends on how this game goes from here, if it happens or not. The Lions, they'll try to turn the corner here as it rolls out of play. It'll stay with Louisville. What did we say in the intro? Whichever team establishes this high line is going to have a lot more success. And what do you know? Louisville has established this high line. Their deepest defender is standing at midfield, right directly in the middle of the pitch. Everybody else is forward. This high line is suffocating, and they get so many opportunities just like this because of it. And the Leopards built something here with 24:05 on the clock in the first half. It has been all Louisville offensively. Alliance, maybe one decent look, but unable to convert on it. But of course, that all can change with one good play. But this one again will roll out for a throw-in.
And there's a Louisville player down.
And that has been, again, an unfortunate part of it. I think that was Lint trying to come back in. And she is back in the game, and now it's one of her teammates who's down. But it's just unfortunate. Injuries, of course, are a part of athletics. They're never an easy part at all. But as we have this time, again, 3 games coming up to round out the week. Tomorrow we're back here for Alliance and Lake Soccer. Thursday at 7. Friday at 5:30. It's the SmeeSports pregame show leading up to a 7 o'clock kickoff between Alliance and Worcester in football. Then on Saturday at 2 p.m., it'll be Tri-C. They ended up losing their opener today in the rain on the road. But they'll have their home opener on Saturday at 2 against Owens Community College. Then next week, that schedule's still kind of up in the air. We'll have our first Minerva game on Monday as they take on Northwest, but otherwise, games can flex. We have a schedule that's built out well in advance, but we always are willing to and have the right to change those games. That's why we don't post an official full fall schedule like some people do. It's just we want to make it where we can change games easily. Football won't change. Football, we're pretty much locked into those games. We have the proper approvals for those games for a reason.
I was going to say football is definitely a tougher one to if you want to flex any of those games.
We're not flexing those.
I'll say that's crazy.
I will say last year before Holy Names deal got done, we had a completely different schedule. It would have looked a lot different. The Aviators back on the attack here. Strong touch on the near side for Addie Yost. Just needs some help. Instead, Yarian plays it out. And for the first time tonight, it'll be an Aviator corner.
This is the first, I think, real big opportunity that they're going to have here if they want to try and equalize the score now. Still 20 minutes left in the half, which is plenty of time, but if you let that goal sit for too long and you don't answer, that will spell doom.
It will. And a big corner kick here for Alliance. As you said, their best opportunity so far. Ritchie to the center of the 18-yard box, headed down. Louisville needing to clear this one. It's a loose ball. It falls for Bailey Young. She'll hit it. Well wide and out. And it'll be a corner on the far side now for the Aviators.
I was going to say that one, it was a good kick, but it bounced off a Louisville defender. Not what you exactly want to happen, but for the Aviators, you get another corner and you have another opportunity at the end of the day.
And at the top of the 18-yard box, they're going with the bunch. I'm kind of surprised. But it'll be a play where everybody makes that run at the same exact time, and you hope to find somebody on the end of it. Here's the run. Ritchie whips this one in, and it is going to go right into the net. The side netting to be exact, and out for a Louisville goal kick. But again, it's one of those where you like the idea, the execution not there.
Yeah, I think just, again, the execution, I think, for the Aviators has been what has held them short so far, is you need to clean up the little mistakes and execute.
The ideas are there just like this pass. But again, Egan is there, and she'll boot this one away.
That one goes into a neighbor's yard.
And an Aviator is going to be down. I want to watch this one back on the replay real quick. Because I thought that was completely clean from Egan. Now, did she clip the Aviator? That is what I want to see. Initially, I didn't think so, but you never know. Did you see anything different?
I was mostly focused on where the ball is landing, but I can't.
Ooh.
Is that Paisley?
She just completely ran into Egan.
Oh, man.
But as she's down, we'll step aside. 21-17 on the clock. Louisville up 1-0 on Alliance.
With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts.
The injured Aviator able to get off the field on her own power, that being Paisley Ritchie. She has half of this team's goals this season. It's a big loss for the time being. The hope is that she's okay. Again, going back to the play, I don't think it was a dirty play. I think it was clean. She just ran into Egan.
Yeah, and that's just one of those things that you hate to see. And, yeah.
And I hate to generalize. If this was not a rivalry game, if this was anybody except Louisville and Marlington, I don't think you look twice at that and think it's anything.
Yeah, and what I will say is it's good to see Paisley walking off under her own power, and it's not anything huge as of right now.
Yes, and we've already seen players injured in this game come back in. So that's the big positive. Numbers getting forward again for the Aviators, but without one of their best attackers. Still trying to draw level. It's Gross at the top of the 18-yard box. No space. Man the pressure. This one falls back for Austin. Whistle blows, and it goes back to Louisville. But again, just that opening goal 4 minutes in. Louisville, a couple of other good opportunities. But since then, it's just been box to box, nothing going. But I do think that's what we expected. The high line is there. Alliance, they're playing survival mode and counter when you can, which the counters have become a lot more frequent over the past 5 minutes. But that's what you expect, 1-0, and unless Alliance gets a breakthrough, I think it's going to be 1-0 at the half, as this one is going to be Yarian down. And it looks like she is good to get right back up.
Okay, that's good. If we had another injured player, we were talking about it, like, we're at Levi Stadium right now.
I just hope there's no energy generator around here.
I don't think so. It might be in the school. Oh man, we're on to something.
Scooby-Doo and the gang need to investigate this one, I guess. That's what it feels like.
SmeeSports and the gang.
We're not investigating this.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And here comes Louisville on the near wing as Alliance is able to play it out. But that was really the first good counter we've seen Louisville have today. Otherwise, it's just been their pressure becoming too much. That was a true counter.
And I gotta say, I like 90% sure that ball was out of bounds. I heard a lot of yelling from players and fans. I'm not sure what. Oh, and time stopped too. I'm not sure what the discourse is right now.
I mean, how many stops have we had in this first half?
It's
3?
Yeah, 3 or 4. That is unreal.
I'm just surprised.
They're still.
We did start at 7:01. We are nowhere near in line to end this half at 7:41. We might be going at 7:50. We might start the second half in the 8 o'clock hour.
Man. It kind of looked like the referee was addressing the fans. I'm not going to lie.
It's going to be one of those nights, isn't it?
I sure hope not. That would be brutal.
There's enough media here, though, to make it look like there's fans. To an extent. Not the same, though. Is it?
I don't think it is, but there is a lot of fans here, nonetheless. You know, Louisville, they travel very well.
They're not too far down the road. That also does help.
Yeah.
But even when they're on the road and far, they will travel quite well.
Yeah.
It's what they do. As this one is whistled dead, it'll be a free kick.
And there's another Aviator injured. And I think that's Gianna Phillips, and she's up again.
It appears she is.
Maybe not injured. Maybe I lied.
But good to see she's okay. Again, those injuries are going to be brutal if they continue the way that it is looking right now.
And here we go again. Goalie stepping up, taking the free kick.
Dak Prescott? Egan, she's going to take the shot.
Oof.
As it falls to Jackson. A little bit closer, you might be telling your goalkeeper, expect a shot. I mean, her range is tremendous with that. I'm impressed.
That was a good look.
Young boosts this one forward. A few Aviators getting on the end of it. But in the end, it does take a Louisville favored bounce. And the Leopards are able to clear their area. Still 17:50 on the clock in the first half. 1-0 Leopards, courtesy of Emily Pauly. And Pauly has this one taken away for a moment and then able to play it back up the pitch. Louisville getting numbers forward yet again. Jackson's off her line, gets a piece of it. Alliance can't clear it, and it's 2-0. Louisville again picks the Aviator defense apart, and there is the brace.
I think what it's been so far, and what they've done well, is doing a good job of pulling Jackson off of her line and taking advantage of that right there. We saw one earlier where she was very lucky to get on top of the ball. That time they capitalized.
I believe that was Ruby Rodriguez with her second career varsity goal. But it was just misplayed by an Aviator defender. The cover was there. They had the play taken care of. It's just they couldn't hold their composure when it mattered most. And now 2-0 Louisville. It is the most dangerous scoreline in all of soccer, yes. But in this game, you can just feel the confidence and momentum that Louisville has. If they can stay par for the course, this one will end in their favor. Young throws inside the 18-yard box, cleared by Yarian. And I believe play is going to stop here. It'll be a free kick for the Leopards. I didn't see the offside flag.
I didn't either.
So I guess a foul, and I really didn't see one there either. But Egan again will boot this one away. And it nearly just glid through the entire Aviator defense. A strong clearance at the end, but the hops, it's not really readable tonight for the Aviators. Yes, they have time to get back to their best, but they need something to change quick, and they need that big counterattack. And they also need Paisley Ritchie back in the game soon.
I mean, that would be a huge, huge boost to them. You have Bailey Young, yes, but you can't have just one person leading your offense.
We have Coach Graffis over here. That's all we need. He's somewhere hiding now.
He's everywhere.
I saw him in the entrance of the door, and he just disappeared.
He's one sneaky guy, I got to tell you.
Now I'm just, okay, there he is. I was very concerned that I just completely lost track of where he was, but here comes a sub for Alliance. Is that going to be Ritchie?
It appears to be.
Which is a big substitution for Alliance, that she is still active.
And she's going to come in for Gross.
Which that just makes sense. You get fresher legs on the pitch. And that's why the counter is on for the Aviators. Ritchie taking it herself, has some cover, takes the shot. Egan seals the corner. Just needed a little bit more separation, and she could have picked up Addie Yost on the near post.
10 seconds in, and you can already see, I think, the difference that a player like Paisley Ritchie makes for the Aviators.
Fresh legs matter everywhere on the pitch. On the wings, they matter the most because of how much work they have to do. Louisville, they're on here, but the flag comes up. Otherwise, it was a one-on-one opportunity for Addie Schmidt as she would have looked for her first career varsity goal.
That's dangerous. That one-on-one is dangerous, and that is how we've seen just in this game so far Stella Jackson come off of her line and someone else capitalize off of it.
But if Alliance can get one back, make it close at the half, you're feeling a lot better of where you sit opposed to where you would at 2-0. Of course, it is implied. 1 is better than 2 in terms of deficit, but again, that's why 2-0 is such a dangerous scoreline in soccer. Your confidence can be at an all-time high. You become complacent. You allow that 1. It's hard to switch back on. Boom, boom, it's 2-2. It's never easy. And I've seen it happen time and time again in the Prem where a team has that 2-0 lead and there's nothing you can do. Whistle blows. This one, I believe, will be a free kick for Louisville. And I think it's on the edge of the 18-yard box, so a dangerous area, but not one you bring up Egan for.
Yeah, I think that might be a bit of a stretch, but still, Louisville can capitalize big time off of this and make it 3-0. That would be huge for them.
It'll be Hallie Folk, the senior, standing over at 5 assists in 2025. And this is her chance to make it 3-0. Still with 13:35 left to go in this opening 40-minute period. Folk is ready to go. She'll take the shot, and it's off the bar.
Man. Wow.
Not too far off it. It'll be a goal kick for the Aviators, but a little bit lower on the placement, and without a doubt, it's 3-0 with one heck of a worldie.
Oh, man, I think if you're the Aviators right now, you're shaking in your boots. That was a great look from Louisville, saved by a crossbar, though. Man.
All you left out there was Shimmer Me Timbers. That's all you left out.
Shivering in the timbers, shaking in the boots, you know. It was something along those lines I knew I was going to go with.
Young, again, really good control on the ball. That is one of her calling cards, as this one is whistled dead for a free kick. But her coming over from Arlington was huge. She has been such an impact player across the board, and I'm sure in basketball season we're still not giving up what we know yet because, well, I assume it's going to be a semi-decently big reveal when it actually is fully announced, but for whoever the new coach is, it'll be a key player and probably a star player that he or she is going to utilize quite a bit along with Peyton Graham.
Absolutely, and I think what has to happen, I mean, you got to get girls from other sports. You got to recruit from girls soccer. I mean, anything you can take.
And I want to talk about what Coach Grove did at Marlington. His goalkeeper has played soccer for 2 years. She's the starting shortstop for the softball team. He went over there, got the starting shortstop. He even said he wanted that positionally. He went over to track. His wingers are track stars. You go back to where he coached. In 2 years' time, it'll be his old youth team. It'll be the current sophomores and freshmen, 8th graders and 7th graders on one team in a few years' time. That's his team, and he said that's his window to win a state title.
And, you know, that's the way to do it. You have to pull from sports that aren't in season. That's where the best athletes are. No question about it.
And for Alliance, they need a lot of those athletes to step up tonight, but you can really feel with some of the tired legs on the wings. You hate to go out and say it, but how big would Royal Hawkins be tonight?
I mean, that would be
every game,
huge.
of course, but tonight, yes.
I mean, just imagining Royal with Bailey and Paisley, that would be monstrous.
That's your new big front three. But, of course, we do wish Royal the best in her recovery. Of course, just an unfortunate circumstance why she can't play.
Yeah, it's definitely not one of those ones that you want to see. And it's something why, I mean, I don't know if you recall, but Jacob Schutte, why he was kicking for football for the longest time, but he had so many surgeries on his ribs that he's just not allowed to, and he still does get limited minutes in soccer. But I mean, it's just unfortunate, but you have to have so much respect for people in a situation like that.
It's just tough. Free kick here for the Aviators. They will take the shot, and it's right to Egan. A lot of easy opportunities, yes, but Tristan Egan has been great tonight for Louisville once again.
I think so far it's definitely been as advertised. Just solid play between the sticks.
You expect nothing less from a Louisville number one. And again, Alliance on the far side. I think based on how the flag goes up, it could be a free kick. I think it should be a throw, but we'll see what they go with. And I think based on the set, it'll be a free kick. It's just so tough because of when they actually put the flag up, it was close to it going out of play.
Right.
But it will be a free kick. And again, we are at a field level, or actually a below field level vantage point. But again, the Aviators play this one in. Beautiful ball inside the 18, but right to Egan. I think the idea was to find Richie in the center of the park. Just couldn't find her in the end.
Yeah, 2 solid free kicks there again. You have to be able to finish if you're the Aviators.
And now the counter is on for Louisville. Numbers getting forward for the Leopards. It'll be Rodriguez squaring this one in. Beautiful counter. Can Louisville score? Not quite. Jackson is able to stop it. And I think before that it was whistled dead as the flag does come up.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that was blown dead. But still, another good chance for Louisville. And it almost made it 3-0 for them, which, I mean, would just, I think we've said it before, just monstrous. That would be huge for them in the half.
It has been a very impressive first half of football for this Louisville team. This is how you want to play the game. The way they play unit by unit, play by play, it's tremendous. They're a good team, and they are going to be once again this year. You go back to last season, 8-7-2. I think they're going to be even better this year. But the Aviators, their counter is on. Richie on the near side has 2 Aviators in the box along with her. Squares it in. Loose on the backside. Falling for Bugera. And it's cleared away. Sponsor keeps it with the Aviators. But that was their opportunity. Right across the face of goal. Just couldn't bury it.
I mean, Paisley Ritchie has been the heart and soul of this Aviators offense. Pushing the tempo when she can. And a beautiful cross, just nobody home to capitalize on that. It's just such a shame.
The Aviators again trying to push the pace as Egan picks it up. Down to the final 8 minutes of this opening 40 minutes. 2-0 Louisville. Rodriguez and Pauly the goal scorers. Really good performances from them. And Louisville again building this counter. They have the numbers forward. Lynn dispossessed. And the Aviators clear their lines. They're getting better with their clearances. They need to be with conviction. And I feel like that has changed. Before it was a half-hearted clearance almost. Now they're being more intentional with it, which is giving them more opportunities to counter like they will here. As Louisville, they will keep it on the far side. Malave up the wing. And this one will roll out for an Alliance throw as Louisville will make a change. What does Alliance have to do differently to get on the board? Again, the opportunities are there, but as we've said, it's not going to matter unless they put 1 or 2 in the back of the net.
I think right now they need to get 1 or 2 more players upfield. You look at who is there with Paisley when she's attacking, you only have 1 or 2 players that she can pass to. You have to be more aggressive, I think, in your positioning and in the tempo at which they play with.
You have the players who are willing to be the aggressors, too. I think Bailey Young by herself can be one of those key players. Then finds a Richie up the pitch who has excellent composure beyond her years. Louisville plays this one in. Beautiful ball. And again, picked up by Jackson. She has had a lot of activity today, and you look at her through 49 saves through 4 games. It's a good amount of saves, yes, but shouldn't be facing that amount of shots. And this one is lightly played off. Egan's off her line and is able to put it away. But Yarian nearly handed this one on a platter to Richie.
You can just not afford to do that. Put a little more zip on the pass. There should not even be a chance for Paisley Ritchie to be there and be in contention for getting to that ball.
As I've said, at 2-0, the little things, you kind of get complacent with them. Case in point, I mean, I've watched this sport and I've played this sport since I was 3. This is nothing new. Greater players before have done the same exact thing, especially at the professional level. It's going to happen here at the high school level too. Which, again, I do have to say, I really do hope that there is a good investment from the U.S. in the youth system at some point to build up the sport here in the United States, which, again, this can become a footballing nation in 2 different ways.
I mean, absolutely. I think there's so many, like, communities, even around the U.S., that would benefit hugely from an investment like that.
I think triple coverage sports would be number 1. Especially Tim Ream. But again, I feel like there could be a good bit of investment into the game. You go back, there were some Cleveland Crunch sanctioned teams. You had some other really good organizations. You had the Croatians out on the east side who were always really tough to play against in my day. A lot of good teams. You just need a lot more organizations like that. I feel like if travel baseball just costs less and take that exact form into soccer, you're going places. Louisville in again here, a chance to make it 3, and it's across the face of goal and outs. But do you agree with that? I don't necessarily think maybe playing all those games is the best, but if it were to be that same exact format, play the same exact way almost, you'd get a lot more involvement and with it a lot better players.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very fortunate to be able to, at Alliance, take a history of sports class, and that's one of the biggest things that we are talking on is youth sports and the way that, especially in the offseason when you have travel ball, AAU, all this stuff, and the way that it's both benefiting and in
Hold
some
on
ways,
1 second. Here comes Louisville once again cutting inside. The Aviators defense right there. They clear to the top of the 18. This one struck, and it's in. 3-0 Leopards.
it looked like it bounced off of a defender. That is just so tough. Man. They're able to go up 3-0 before the half. That is just a heartbreaker for the Aviators.
I mean, Louisville is playing a really good game tonight, all the way around. And again, it was just laid to the top of the 18-yard box perfectly. And nothing more could have been done. The question is, what number was that? Was that Paulie again, number 10?
I couldn't tell.
We'll have to confirm at halftime, but Louisville, I'm sure, a lot more confident with where they sit up by 3 than opposed to up by 2.
But no, we're talking about like in class, AAU, travel ball, the way that it benefits and also in some ways can harm youth sports in the U.S. And I think that pushing more for soccer would be beneficial.
And looking at who that was, I think it was Hallie Fork who scored because I believe that was the same player who just kicked it out of play. So that'll be her first goal of the last 2 seasons if that is the case. So 3 minutes left to play in the first half. Rodriguez, Pauly, and Folk the goal scorers. It has been one heck of a 40 minutes for the Louisville Leopards.
And I will say, from Louisville, you see the way that the scoring is diversified for them. 3 goals, 3 different players. That is a good sign that your team can go a ways. You don't have to rely on one person to score all the goals. You can pass the ball around, and different people will find the back of the net.
It's like how Marlington plays. It's the same exact style. Just balance all the way around in the Leopards. They might be not done here at 3. They might want one more, but Jackson nearly had it, pokes it out of play instead, and it'll be a corner. That's what you can't give up there.
Now, with 2 minutes left, I think Louisville might even want one more. And that, I said going 3-0 is a heartbreaker, but you make it 4.5, that's just brutal.
From there, you're thinking about avoiding a running clock, essentially, which becomes a lot different of a task in comparison to just simply staying in this game and competing. Folk, she'll play this one inside the 18-yard box. Loose going towards the back post. No one home for Louisville, as this one will continue its roll. Alliance able to settle with it once again, as this is going to be Ritchie, dispossessed. Strong play by Barthel. Louisville stringing this one in, but right to Jackson, as we have less than 90 seconds on the clock in this first half. Alliance, they want this first half to be over with. Louisville, they're okay with a few more moments, but maybe not for long. It's Yost on the near side, getting forward for the Aviators. Now uses her offense, gets some help. Austin, heavy touch, it goes out of play. And it'll be an Aviator corner. This will probably be their last big chance of the first half, as we officially are in the final minute of the 40. And it looks like we are going to see a substitution as well. And it's Alliance. You have to be quick with this.
I mean, we're coming up close now on 30 seconds left, and I think you have to be snappy. I understand, giving a little bit of time. You don't want to give Louisville another opportunity, but I think you have to be faster getting there.
And that one's just simply headed away for Louisville. They'll get this one back. Not quite. It'll be Aviator ball. This is it. You have 25 seconds. You have to put your best attack forward here. But for Louisville, just keep doing that. Boot it out as often as you have to. Richie heads this one in. Yarian gets it out of the area. Played towards the side. And this is where they'll shield it off. Schmitz played back towards Alliance. The 10-second count now begins. Lind gets it back for the Leopards, and she will go down. And that is going to do it for the first half. A really good 40-minute period for Louisville. Domination from the get-go as they got their first goal with 4 minutes, not even, being played. At the break, you are watching OHSAA Soccer on SmeeSports in partnership with Skyward Studios as Louisville leads it 3-0 over Alliance.
With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts. With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts.
Before we get back to the action, if you or someone you know is a business owner looking to sponsor broadcasts in the Cleveland or Stark County area, contact us at one of those avenues on your screen, and I would love to work out a deal with you to promote the best of your business and your brand. Thank you, of course, to Heather Prince of Howard Hanna. Yeah, kids almost knocked over our camera. I'm not too happy about that one. But thanks, of course, to Heather Prince of Howard Hanna and Skyward Studios for helping to make today's telecast possible. That is my worst nightmare nearly come true, Cooper.
I thought you were inventing a new pronunciation there. Prince.
No,
Like,
my
like
heart
you were-
just dropped.
I was like, I could hear you getting possessed by a ghoul.
I essentially was.
Woo!
Halloween's not for a few months, but Cooper, as we get in the second half, 3-0 Louisville. 2 goals from Pauly. We did have that confirmed, and 1 from Rodriguez. What do the Aviators have to do to get back into this game?
I think it's just like we talked about kind of in those last 5 minutes. They have got to be aggressive. The positioning. When Paisley Ritchie is the only one pushing the tempo, she needs players to match her. Match the energy, get upfield, and push more near the box at least. You need to have more scoring opportunities. No question about it.
40 minutes on the clock. You need 3 to tie, 4 to take a lead. But the Louisville Leopards right now looking pristine as they will kick off the second half, now attacking towards us. Do you think they become more conservative?
You know, I don't think they do. That's just not the way that Louisville plays, especially not against a non-conference rival in the Alliance Aviators. I think they're going to keep the pressure on. They don't want to have this 3-0 lead blown to dust.
At the same time, Alliance, I think, is going to throw everything at them that they possibly can. And I don't blame them for that at all. I think that's just how they're going to play in this game. They're going to be the aggressor going forward. But if Louisville can come out here and play their brand of soccer well for the next 40 minutes, this will be a convincing 3 points for them.
And it'll be like you said, a reestablishing win. Just because you talk about how many players they lost, this is cementing them as a solid team and going to be a tough team to beat this year.
And amid those injuries, which they've had a couple of those players come back, it's huge that they have these players going out here and playing as well as they are right now, as that is Bell winning back possession for the Leopards. If this attack can kick it into high gear quickly, you get that 4th on the board, I think you put any doubts to rest immediately, which will be huge for them as, again, we'll have a little pile up in the middle of the pitch. But as always, thank you to Leopard Nation for helping us out with official goal scorers for soccer. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. Be able to go and confirm with the parents and make sure our stats are accurate. They do a lot of good work with Louisville, so make sure you go check them out on all their social medias.
Yeah, I mean, their fans, athletic department, I mean, they're next level. They're really, truly next level.
They make it easy from a visiting team standpoint to go and cover their team, even though we don't see them all too often.
Yeah, I mean, those are the fans that every team wants to have. And they've taken years and they've built up a true fan base.
Edgin plays this one right to Jackson. Edgin has been excellent in between the sticks, but also her free kicks have, on 2 occasions, nearly gone in.
I mean, I don't know much about Louisville's football team, but if they need a kicker, I think they have a solid candidate.
At least the backup, you have somebody who can come in there and hit from long range, as this one will be a free kick again for the Leopards. And I think this is definitely within Edgin's range.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think she's taking a bit of a strut up the field now, but she's been spot on. I mean, she's been accurate, and from range too. It's seriously impressive.
So a big free kick once again Honestly, if I'm her, I am just shooting this one. If I can get this one to just settle over Jackson and fall in, by all means. And I think she nearly tried it. The flag will come up for offside. So it'll go back to the Aviators. And as well, with those big plays, you waste a lot of time. You send the ball up the pitch, it goes out of play. Unfortunate, but 5 to 10 seconds later, it gets back in, if that quick even. And there you go.
And I'll also say that for the Aviators, they're lucky that that ball was blown off sides because Stella Jackson did tip the ball right before it went out of bounds. And that would have put the Leopards in an even more dangerous situation with a corner.
And we know how good this team can be. Beautiful ball in on the far wing as this one is shot wide by Schmidt. But again, good creativity from Lynn. Already has 1 assist tonight. Was going for a second.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that when you talk about Louisville, are they going to keep the pressure on, keep the pressure off going into the second half up 3-0? I think they're going to keep it on, and they're going to get more creative, kind of like we're seeing here. Good passes, taking unique shots, and trying to find creative ways to score.
Creative is the best way to put it. They have been so creative tonight as this one goes out for an Aviator throw-in.
When you have your goalie taking free kicks from about 50 yards out, there's no other word to, quantify that, but creative.
This Louisville team, though, is going to do excellently this year. And if they can hold a second clean sheet to begin this season, that's huge going forward. But this will be a free kick on the handball. Looking ahead for the Aviators, they're at Field on Saturday, followed by Minerva, Salem, Boardman, and Tuslaw. For Louisville, they're at Copley to end out August, followed by CVCA, Canfield, Boardman, and Howland. So some tough teams coming up in there. Of course, Canfield, a really good team that we ended up seeing last year. A really good, now sophomore goalkeeper, I believe. They have good pieces going forward as this one will roll out of play for a Louisville goal kick.
Out of play and down the hill. And that's kind of one of the weird things about the Rockhill Soccer Complex, if you ask me, is it's kind of encased in a neighborhood, but then there's hills going down on almost all sides of the field. Like right now, we are in an old concession stand down a ways from the field. We're below field level right now. And I mean, it's just one of the quirks.
Mile high is famous. Mile below is not.
Luckily, we're not quite a mile below, but sometimes it does feel that way.
It definitely does, as this one will roll out of play. But the fans, they make themselves at home on the touchline. It's an immersive way to watch the game. Is it a safe way?
Maybe not.
No.
Definitely some teeth have gone missing in that section over the years, I'm certain.
As this one is headed on for Lanes. Great challenge inside the 6-yard box and cleared away. That is a goal-saving challenge for the Aviators as Richie clears. But otherwise, you had 2 Leopards there who easily could have buried it for 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, they've just been dangerous on offense this whole time. They have so many skilled players, and like we said, 3 goals, 3 different players.
Not anymore. It's 2 for the
right.
for number 10, Pauly.
I forgot we got the clarification on that, but still.
But this one will be an Aviator goal kick with 33:30 on the clock. Still plenty of time, yes, but you can really feel Louisville's control on this game. They're still playing this high line despite being up 3-0 in the second half. A lot of teams, they will shy away and invite that pressure. But this Louisville team, they know how to be the aggressor, and in this case, it is paying off quite well. But all it takes is one really good opportunity for Alliance, and they are back in it. But it's going to take a lot for them to create it, but they will get this throw. You go back to it, though, that cross that came across the face of goal, nobody home for. I think Bugaro was the closest back in the first half. That was your opportunity. And I think every single soccer game we have, there is always that one opportunity that if you take it a little bit better, you score it, it's a completely different look. I think one of the big examples of it is the Revere game on Saturday. If Drusha would have scored in around the 55th minute opposed to hitting the post, it's 1-1. I think Revere wins that one 2-1.
It's so tough for us as commentators to look at it because it's so different than being on the field. Obviously we respect these athletes and all that they do.
But here comes Miley Gross for the Aviators. Bugera Dispossessed Louisville, able to get it back only for a moment. Grosh tries playing it in. Back to Bagheera. And now Louisville, a strong boot away. Nice play from Yarian. But again, another good look for the Aviators. Just couldn't get anything going. And now the counter is on again for Louisville up the wing. It'll be Lint played on. And the Aviators are able to play this one out for a throw. Still a half an hour left to go in this game. It has definitely been a long one tonight.
I think, at least for me, most of that is going to be attributed to, I think we had 3 injury stoppage of times, which is just, I mean, that's brutal for soccer. Normally, you only see 1, maybe 2 stoppages of time in a game, let alone 3 in the first half.
I thought it was 4.
4.
It was one of those 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think for me, that's what kind of made it feel like it dragged on a bit. And it was actually the same story. I hate to do this, but Alliance versus Northwest football, there was about 4 injury timeouts from cramping, which is just insane.
It happened. It's a part of the game. Louisville trying to pick the Aviators' pocket as this one will be ruled dead. Whistle blew earlier, otherwise that would have been a clear-cut corner. It's just the pressure. This is not a team that is playing like they're up 3-0. This is a team playing like they have nothing to lose and they're down. That's how much pressure Louisville is giving, and that's why this team is so talented and is going to do good things this season. They're not a complacent team. Did we expect them to be? Absolutely not.
And you cannot be complacent even when you're winning. You don't want to get lazy. You have to, I mean, you got to play like you're losing at all times.
This one played in for Folk, has the space. Can Louisville find their 4th? Pauly already on a brace. She might want a hat trick here. Instead, the Aviators played away for a moment and now clear it up the pitch. Natalie Austin in the center, getting some help. Lays it on back. Bugera up the wing for Ritchie. And Ritchie cannot keep it in play. But a good idea again from this offense. Just unable to really put the wheels in motion.
And I will say the one thing that stands out to me the most about Paisley Ritchie, the foot speed. It is unreal. You watch her hustle for a ball that she doesn't end up getting. And, I mean, she is booking it every time.
She hustles. That's how the Aviators, at least from a wing standpoint, tend to play. You go back again to Royal Hawkins. That was a big player who embodied that box-to-box mentality up and down the pitch. You don't have her anymore. You don't have players like Maddie Lake who also embody that with her pace. It's a new era of Aviator soccer. We knew that was going to be the case this year, but you still have those players who fill the roles once occupied by now program legends.
Yeah, even players like you said, Royal last year, but another player in the history books, Zelly Barnes. I mean, that's a D1 player right there, 300 career assists, and a huge reason why, this is really not the same team that we saw last year.
You lost so many key pieces. You go back to 2 years ago, that was a team coming off, as you said, a regional tournament berth.
I mean, oh, man, I'm just thinking back. I mean, you got Avery Horning on that team, Jenna Heslop, who we did cover, another fantastic goalie. Also, weirdly enough, she's not a true goalie either, even though she did a great job when she played. I mean, so many great players in these past few years, and certainly a few more on the pitch right now.
And that's the thing about high school sports. We even talked about it with some coaches recently. That's how it works. You lose players every single year. You don't bring back your full roster ever, unless you're that young of a team, which, if you're that young of a team, you bring back everybody, it's probably not off the back of a really good season, 9 times out of 10. But if you bring back as many players as possible and you build off of it, that's where you can have a lot of success. And teams like Marlington have had that success. And Louisville, they have a lot of new faces in the mix this year. But so far, so good. A aggregate score of 4-0 so far to begin the season against 2 teams who have made the regional tournament this decade.
And at the end of the day, that is a win. When you have teams who even have success in the past 5 years, 2 great teams that you're able to, dismantle. And like this with the Aviators, right now, even with 27 minutes left, quite handily, I'd say.
It's convincing. It really is. Ritchie. Up the wing, out of play, back to Louisville.
And I will say something else. We talked about it, boys versus Streetsboro. You got two bracelets on the team. The sibling connection. With the girls' team, Araya and Paisley. Two really good players. Paisley, spectacular.
Louisville back in
on
here, though, for
offense.
the time being, as this one is poked away. We'll get back to that in a moment. Pauly plays it in. Still going for that hat trick, but she'll have to wait as it goes to Stella Jackson.
And again, Louisville, they're not backing down. But Paisley and Araya, Paisley, offensive. She's a mad woman. She runs like she's angry. And you, of course, have Araya, who is a great defender. Another one of those dynamic sibling duos that I feel like we see a lot in Alliance Soccer.
Most schools we cover, we see those sibling connections or at least lineages. It happens all the time. Beautiful turn here from Lint. Has a leopard in the box to cross it in. Plays it in for Folk. 4-0. What a goal for the Leopards. It's a perfect team strike. They just find a way to continue up in the ante, and they always make good on their bets.
I don't know who got that one, but still, that is huge for them. 4-0 is, monumental here. It really is beginning to put the game away.
And this time around, it does go to Haley Folk. She'll get her first goal in the last 2 seasons. Second assist as well of the night for Casey Lintz. But it is all Louisville tonight in Alliance, 4-0. But this is the domination that you expect out of the Louisville Leopards. Nothing less from this team. And I'll keep saying it, this team is going to do great things this season. No doubt.
Oh, judging by the way that they've been playing today, I can't help but agree with you.
And we still have 26, now just under 26 minutes left to play. And for Edgen and company, they just want to hold this clean sheet, have 2 to begin the season. Not too shabby. This is a team who won 8 games last year, and just like Marlington, a big improvement for a local team. And the Leopards might be in once again. It's Casey Lint for the Louisville Leopards, this time saved by Jackson. Nearly booted it in, but that would have been the 3rd goal contribution tonight for number 9, already having 2 assists.
That's a real team player right there.
And I think there would be a sense of jealousy, but in a positive way, from Emily Pauly if she was not the one to get the hat trick of whether it be goals and assists combined or just goals. Makes you feel a little hard done by. But those goal contributions, all important. And I know in the high school game they count points. I don't go for that stat. I don't. It's goal contributions. It's not shutout. It's clean sheets. And again, it's football, not soccer. But we're putting soccer on all of our graphics because it's soccer here in America. I really do sound like an old head, don't I?
Oh, yeah, you definitely do.
To me, it's football. It is. Unpopular opinion, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. You've been watching the new season of Ted Lasso?
Yes, I watched the latest episode last night. Edgen. And again, just simply clears it away. Alliance still applying that pressure, but again, Louisville just doing a lot more as they keep it going. On the near side, I believe that was Rodriguez trying to string it through. The Leopards crossing. Nice header down from Lintz onto the wing. Tries to pick up Schmitz. And Louisville outnumbered 4-2. They'll get some help in this attack, though. Lint played towards the top of the 18-yard box. She'll hit it. Just wide and out for a goal kick.
Another good look. Even adding a 4th onto their grand total, they're still not backing down. I think the biggest difference again, Louisville's defense and their hustle on offense. They have been there every step of the way and not backing down one bit.
What was your comment on Ted Lasso going to be?
Oh, I was going to say I feel like Ted when he first went to England because I'm not calling it football. I'm going to call it soccer every time.
I'm the opposite. I'm here in good old Northeast Ohio, and the only place on earth that can be 100 degrees 1 second and 15 of snow the other.
Brutal.
Richie shoved off the ball back towards the center of the pitch, and nobody home on the wing. But also, when I watch informational videos on YouTube, you have to think, for the NFL, it's a bunch of Americans. For soccer or football, it's a bunch of Europeans. So that influences it.
That's true. That's true.
And a big FIFA guy. Or my bad, FC. Terrible games, but still, I play them. 22:40 left to play in regulation. And again, going back to soccer, have you heard of the revival project for the old FIFAs on Ultimate Team?
I have not.
There is a group of developers going back and putting the servers back online for the old games.
Wow.
As this one is picked up by Jackson. But it's a group of, I believe, 3 guys going on. And I think they have the servers up, not for everybody, but for the most part, up for 12, 14, maybe 15, and 17 already.
Wow.
And they're each working on different games.
That's crazy.
And they just have a specific way on PC to be able to re-up those servers because EA just stopped paying for them. That's what happened there. But people are going back to the nostalgia. And I pointed it out yesterday. Love Me Again, a classic FIFA song. It's on Marlington's playlist for their home games.
And I'll also say, speaking of pointing things out, I'm going to point out something that actually happens quite a bit. I don't think we've ever really mentioned it, but the deer crossing up behind the scoreboard. I mean, we're in a neighborhood, but with all the woods back there, the deer do come through every so often. It might be a bit dark, so I don't know if you guys can see, but there are deer up behind the goal and up behind the scoreboard right now.
We don't even have a comm set for Giovanni, and he found the deer.
Wow. This kid is going to be something special.
He's MVP. I'll tell you what, from the way that he operated not even 2 weeks ago for that Poland game to now, he has made a big jump, and I'm very happy to have him this year. Again, as we've said, it's a relatively new cast of characters. Pretty much the only returners for us are in the booth right now. Everywhere else, it's a bunch of new faces for us, as this one will be an Aviator corner. You still have 20 minutes left on the clock. You need this to be a good opportunity. You need to capitalize right here. Richie plays in, headed towards the back post, no one home, and this one will go out of play. So back to Louisville it goes. But make sure you do stick with us after our final commercial break, as we will announce our player of the game presented by SmeeSports. A lot of great candidates tonight, of course, on this Louisville team, but there can only be one. So stay tuned and wait to see who it is, as this one is again kicked out, and it'll stay with the Aviators on the far side. Nearly an hour into this one now, but it feels like we are a lot further along, doesn't it?
It definitely does, and that can be attributed to, of course, the stoppages of time in the first half. But I will say the second half has been going quite smoothly. 1 goal so far for the Leopards, making the total 4-0 for them. I mean, they've just been pulling on the pressure. Like we've talked about, they're not one to back down.
I think Tom Petty had a thing or two to say about that.
And I won't. Oh, we're gonna get copyrighted.
Yes, you're gonna make me edit out this segment of the broadcast.
Oh, well, I only said what 3 words. All right. Sorry, I'm so sorry, DMCA, YouTube, whoever.
He'll be playing Freebird when we give him 5 cents. 19:30 on the clock in regulation, as this one again will roll out. I think Louisville 4-0, they're content. You can feel they've slowed down the tempo of the game, and I think from kickoff to now, the entire 60 minutes so far, they have controlled the tempo. This has been their game. And just like this, they can still counter. It's Folk trying to play this one in. Plenty of Leopards along to assist. It's Rodriguez. Lays this one low and cleared away for a corner.
While the tempo has slowed, I mean, Louisville has definitely remained in control of the game. They have dominated, I think, possession-wise, and they've been very strong in their defense still.
But a big corner coming up here. It'll be Folk to take. And again, Louisville doing what Alliance did with that bunch formation / set, so to speak. But just more inside the 18-yard box. Right towards the center of the box. Young chests it down and clears it away. A strong boot from her. Haven't called her name all too much in this second half. But when we have, it has been for a strong clearance. She, again, a great example of a player with great work rate up and down the pitch. And as well, I was reflecting on our comments last night with Tommy Miller, calling him a defensive version of Trent Alexander-Arnold, the Hakimi comparison. It kept calling to me. It's just like the Green Goblin's mask. It calls to me to make that comparison. I still don't have a perfect one for him, but we've seen a lot of really good pro comparisons this week because that's the easiest way, I feel like, to give an idea of what these players are actually doing. Pick a pro that plays the same way, and that's how these players play. And it's impressive to see how these players can match that pro style. And I was thinking for Brock Swisher, it's like watching a Prime De Gea, who the Man U fans have said would have saved the Titanic. But Louisville again might be in here. Folk squares this one. Oh, what a ball! Off the post! How unlucky for the Louisville Leopards. Still a chance to make it 5. But Wagoner denied in heartbreaking fashion. That would have been perfect.
And when you see a bounce off the side post, it's going left or right, not straight off the post. I mean, that is one of the most brutal doinks you will ever see.
And it'll be a throw for Louisville. They throw this one right inside the 18-yard box as the Aviators will seal it off for a goal kick. But again, Louisville believes, and it really should be 5-0.
Yeah, that is just brutal.
But this team still playing as a really well-oiled machine. It's a good unit, top to bottom. We're going to keep saying it. I think this team is going to make one heck of a playoff run. Wouldn't be surprised at all if they make a regional tournament bid. Would you be surprised?
I don't think I would. I mean, you look at the way they're playing, 2 starters down, and, I mean, you put those 2 in, that makes even more of a difference. I don't even know if I'd want to be here watching this game.
I think you're thinking somewhere in the running clock realm at that point, just based on those talents. You lose 2 semi-attacking options. I say semi because Riley is more of a midfield threat. 13 assists last season, a team high along with 6 goals. So 19 goal contributions on the bench from her and 3 goals from Cruz last year. So 22 combined goal contributions for 2025 inactive tonight. And Louisville still scored 4.
I mean, it's just utter domination. You have the versatility, you have the depth, and you put those 2 starters back in, no question that playoffs are a knocking.
Again, they have more than enough, in my opinion, to be making a good playoff run. And I'm sure our buddy Rob Johnson over at YSN and Spotlight Media Network will be enjoying covering that playoff run come October. One of the many friends of the channel in the area. Always a good help whenever we go to Louisville, along with Athletic Director Terry Horn. I feel like if we were to label every broadcast of how many shout-outs we gave to the Athletic Director, every single Louisville one had one for Terry Horn, as she should. An outstanding athletic director, one of the best in Northeast Ohio, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's just so many shout-outs that we give to a lot of the people in the area. Obviously, we love shouting out our folks at Alliance, Coach Graffis, Coach Goodman, and all the athletic department staff there. But, I mean, it's so nice. It's just nice to have all the connections. You know what I mean? It's so many, friends of the channel, like you said.
Volk on the near side lets this one go, and it'll be a throw for Louisville. I just have a feeling if we do see a 5th, it is going to be a wonder strike. It's building up to be. That's the anticipation for this Louisville team. They work so well together. It's Rodriguez. Tries changing fields, but goes right back to the Aviators as they clear. But for the Aviators, how do you respond to this one? This will be your 3rd loss of the season, and the other 2, you were also held scoreless. It's the same thing happening tonight. I think you mentioned ghosts and goblins earlier, and now I'm hearing them.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it might be, well, I don't want to use the word gremlin, but I can't even see him, but I hear him.
It's not the dog. It's not the barking dog.
No, it's not the dog. I think Halloween's coming a little early to us. No question.
So 13:40 left to play in regulation. 4-0 Louisville. As this one is drawing to a close again. Stay with us as we will announce our player of the game presented by SmeeSports after our final commercial break. Biggest takeaway, though, beyond just the scoreline for Alliance, what did they do well tonight?
Well, I think there was still good pressure offensively. We saw a lot of great things from Paisley Ritchie and a lot of good things defensively from players like Bailey Young and also Miley Gross. but I think it's all about aggressiveness. I think if they can be more aggressive, this game is a lot closer.
And I would agree. You go back to that one great chance, you convert it, it's a different game. It's Ritchie on the wing, cutting it inside, has the space. Ritchie across the face of goal and cleared away. Another chance for the Aviators. It'll settle inside the 18 as Louisville is able to clear it once again. The aggression is there, and again, the ideas are still there. They just haven't been able to convert. And tomorrow night against Lake for the boys team, you will have to convert those opportunities because, again, if not, if he gets called up from JV, you have pretty much Zlatan's regen. I mean, that goal, which we just posted on social media around 30 minutes ago, that bicycle kick in a JV game.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
That, stunning. You don't even see that in varsity games. That is one of the goals of all time.
It was excellent. And again, thank you to Lake's coach for sending us that footage and asking us to post it. So glad we were able to do that and showcase the young man who probably has the goal of the season in the OHSAA. On wraps in August.
Yeah, it's just so tough that, obviously we're not going and covering JV games. So just big shout out to the coach. I mean, putting it out, you have to put that out there.
He even said he just wants to get the kids some coverage.
Yeah. Major props.
And we'll see Lake again tomorrow, so that'll be an exciting game. Always good to see Lake. It's one of those Fed schools that it's a Division III foe that will always bring a good game. And you go back to baseball, I know Anderson Alashi lives rent-free in your head.
Oh, my gosh. Anytime I've seen that kid, anytime he's played against Alliance, absolutely brutal, man. He's a beast, dude.
He's nightmare fuel.
He's a beast. I think he probably lives in Graphis' head. Anyone who plays for Alliance Baseball.
Beautiful free kick taken here, played inside the 6, right to Jackson. Lind again close to that hat trick of goal contributions. I think 2 are going to be stuck on 2. And that's just brutal for them, but still, they got the win. That's what matters for them. They have stepped up tonight in a big way. You look at Lind before today, no goal contributions in the game against Buckeye, but 4 goals, 1 assist last year. Doubling her assist tally in one game in comparison to last season. Wagoner gets her 2nd assist of the season. Folk gets her 1st goal in the last 2 seasons. And Pauly had 1 goal, 1 assist last year. Matches her goal contributions, doubles her goal tally from last season in one matchup. The future being now is bright for Louisville soccer across the board. And I know losing Carter Burton is going to be a huge loss for that men's soccer team. They'll be able to build. I know their coach, one of the best in the game in the area, has been around for a while. They'll be okay. I don't think that was ever a doubt. Louisville's just one of those teams that is always good. Now football, they're good this year. They won their first game. You lose your head coach and Coach Kappas, who is now at Mount. That was a tough loss as Lake now has to clear this one, or rather Louisville across the face of goal. Alliance a chance here, played out towards the wing. Austin across the face of goal and pulled wide.
Oh, Bailey Young just missed to the left with a perfect opportunity just under 10 minutes left here in the match to cut the lead down to 3. But she tried to tap it in and just missed it across that left pole. I mean, that is another brutal one. Wow.
I mean, she was right there, and the goal was pretty much wide open for her.
Yeah. Oh, man. That is tragic.
You feel for her. It's one of those really tough spots that it's going to sting when you go and watch it back on the film because you knew you had the goal in the moment. But on film, it's a lot clearer. And Lake right back, or rather Louisville. Ooh, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves for tomorrow. Louisville back at it again, looking for their 5th. Laid in, trying to find Folk. I think she would have been offside anyway. But the Leopards fling this one out wide as it'll stay with them. They'll have a throw-in on the far side.
I mean, if Young were able to get that one, it just would have been one that would have softened the blow. It would have felt much better than 4-0. You get one in there, and I think that you leave with a little more.
You want a spooky trend right now?
Sure.
In 4 games, now 5, assuming this result holds, Alliance would have either scored 3 goals or no goals. There's no in between.
Interesting.
It's a weird stat. It's really the example of, hey, they're either really much on or not on at all.
It's a truly double-edged sword.
Jekyll and Hyde. But they'll need to find more of the positive in that, which I think they'll have some games coming up that they can win. Now, that Minerva game is going to be a dogfight, especially with Sophia Burek scoring the goals that she has lately. It'll be a tough couple of games. That Boardman, though, that was your big win last year, but you're without the reason that you won that game. That's the big thing to note, because that was Boardman's game for a long time. Until Royal Hawkins just said, no, that's our game.
Yeah, well, and even Zelly, I think she hit a long one.
Yes,
in that
she
game.
did.
I think she had it was probably 35, maybe even she was way out, and she just booted it in there. I think that, you take those two out of the equation, and it's a different ball game for sure.
Again, it's the tough reality of high school sports. You will always lose key players every single season. It never gets easier. You look at all those record holders, you put them on one team, it's a tough team to beat. Louisville again with the corner. Towards the top of the box, it'll fall for Tanis. And Alliance just trying to win this one back and stay with it. They won it for a moment, but it goes right back to the Leopards, as I think at this point in the game, you are going to see more and more substitutions, or at least you should. As there, Gross tried stealing the edge, couldn't. Malave up the pitch. Slipping in, it'll fall for Folk. Folk takes the shot. Jackson spills it right. But still able to get a good set of hands on it and get the save.
And again, that could have been costly there. If that ball is deflected into the boots of a Leopard, it's almost certainly a goal.
All the way around, though, a team performance, a outstanding result for these Louisville Leopards. And as well, at some point, we will try to get a score update from the Marlington girls game. Lint taking it herself inside the 18. Has to support, goes to the top of the 18-yard box. Another great chance. This time, Jackson has to get back to work and pokes it out for a corner.
Man, another good opportunity for Louisville there. Going for 5-0, but just couldn't get it again.
We ask the question all the time about so many different players, but where would this Alliance team be without Stella Jackson?
Oh, the difference that she makes even in a game like this is it's monumental. Obviously you don't want to say, oh, take the goalkeeper away. Obviously all the goals are going in. That's true.
This one shot on goal. Jackson saves, still with the Leopards, as Young has to clear it.
But you put a different goalie in there, this might be an 8-point game. It's different, really. It truly is.
And now down to the final 5 minutes. You can really feel the mugginess now setting in.
Yeah.
It happens. It's no surprise here, especially when you're in the grass. We see the same thing at Marlington. But a lot of takeaways for tonight, but I feel like it's all pretty much the same thing, just reworded in so many different ways. Louisville, excellent. Alliance, back at the drawing board.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Back to the drawing board it's a good way to phrase it, just because there's things you did good. We just need to draw up some new ideas, change some things, and we'll be back a better team.
That field game is going to be huge. You dropped to 2 and 4 going into that Minerva game, which, again, it's a conference game, a must-win game. That makes your life so much more difficult here at home next Wednesday. And, again, our schedule for next week is still up in the air, just depending on where teams are playing. Our schedule is ever-changing, so we'll post that one on Sunday, as we always do, to give a week roundup of what to expect. But we do know next Friday is Alliance and Streetsboro soccer. Or not soccer, geez. We've seen that one. Football this time.
Okay, now you're doing them double backwards.
Another free kick for Louisville, and it goes in. I think it was untouched. It'll be a goal for Yarian.
Wow.
We will see it on the replay. Will she get the credit? Either way, 5-0 Leopards. I think she gets the credit. As long as nobody touches it, it's her goal.
We'll have to take a look here. No.
It's Yarian's goal.
Wow.
From a free kick. And the way she reacted, that's what high school athletics are all about. That reaction and the way that her teammates ran to her and celebrated. That's the beauty of high school sports. It's moments like this. It's a moments business, not just an athletic business. Of course, athletics matter. We see a lot of great athletes, and we love showcasing them. But the moments behind them are so impressive and just so fun. Even if it's a player coming in on their senior night injured, that goes in, does one thing, and is subbed off ceremoniously. Whether it's somebody coming back from a mission trip after not pitching for 3 years and gets his first strikeouts. Those are the moments that make our job a lot easier. And for Yarian, no goal contributions the last 2 seasons. Probably her first at the varsity level. To see the way she reacted on that beautiful strike, that's what it's all about.
And it's so much more than just sports broadcasting. It's storytelling, right? We have this beautiful game laid out in front of us, and we tell a story with it, and I don't think you could have said it any better.
It's a storybook ending, and as we said, you just felt like that 5th goal was going to be an outstanding strike, and it was. The writing was on the wall, and it happened exactly as at least I expected. I think you as well. But this Aviators team still just trying to find a way to score. But if Louisville does score again, this will be the worst defeat of the season for the Aviators, as right now it's a tied worst with the 5-0 defeat to Howland. But Louisville, they still have 2:20 on the clock to make something happen. And you know they want to make something happen if they can.
I mean, if they could get another goal in there, that would be we know the 5th one would be a spectacular one. I think number 6, it's going to go one of 2 ways. It's going to be opposite ends of the spectrum. It's either going to be just a boring goal, or it's going to be an absolute stunner.
And I feel like with 2 minutes on the clock, it is less and less likely that we do see it that way. As of right now, it'll end 5-0. But again, Louisville, an outstanding performance. 2 great ones to begin the season. And with it, Edgin is moments away from 2 clean sheets to begin her senior season. That's a confidence boost going forward for her. She had 1 assist and 66 saves last year. A really good season, averaging 1.3 goals per game allowed. So far this season, zip, 0, nada. And in 90 seconds, it'll be back-to-back clean sheets.
And it's not, and especially I will say with this game, this isn't an easy clean sheet, all right? She was out there putting in some work. There were still some good efforts by the Alliance girls, getting some shots on goal, bringing some pressure, and she was still there, and she still made the saves. It is a well-earned clean sheet, and it is a well-earned victory for the Louisville Leopards.
Well, here we are, the 80th minute of the match. 1 minute on the clock. The Leopards still getting numbers forward for one final push. On the near side, it spills. Ulrich dispossessed back up to Bailey Young. Young trying to play on her attacker, that being Gross. It's off her head. And back to Louisville with now 40 seconds as this one is taken out. And it'll go for a Louisville throw-in. Again, they will be in no hurry here. Scored 3 in the first half, 2 in the second. A convincing 5-goal victory for the Leps. And they will improve to 2-0 on the season. One final chance here. Still inside the 18-yard box with 15 seconds. Ulrich at the top. Poked away there by Edwards. It'll fall. Now the long shot for Wagner. And it's in! What a hit as time expires! 6-0 Leopards!
I mean, I just got a flashback. Last night, Alliance versus Canton Central Catholic, we had a last-second buzzer beater to put the Aviators up 4-0. And now we see another deep strike, maybe about 30 yards out. Top right. I'm getting deja vu right now, Smee.
What a strike from Ava Wagner as this one comes to a close. 6-0 Leopards. They dominate this one. When we return, we will announce our player of the game presented by SmeeSports as you are watching OHSAA Soccer in partnership with Skyward Studios.
With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts.
Welcome back to the Rockhill Soccer Complex. 6-0 Louisville, your final. A dominant performance by the Leps as you are watching OHSAA Soccer on SmeeSports in partnership with Skyward Studios. Your player of the game presented by SmeeSports. It has to go to Louisville's number 10 and Emily Pauley. 1 goal, 1 assist last year. Cooper, tonight, 2 goals, a brace in the first half. She had 2 of the first 3 to really solidify this one for Louisville, which, of course, the rest of her team picked her up in the second half, getting the job done, adding on 3 more.
Absolutely. I think you take her out of the equation. Obviously, this is still a good Louisville team, but she really did make all the difference, especially in the first half. She's strong offensively, 2 goals, and she's great in defensive situations as well. She's a great player, and it's just absolutely what you want to see when you're talking about a player of the game, especially in a game like this. 6 goals, when you have a player who makes up 1/3 of them, that is just huge.
Let's talk about that last goal real quick here before we sign off tonight, Cooper. Man. What a hit from Wagner.
I mean, it's amazing. I kind of went through it right after it happened, but yesterday the boys game for Alliance, there was a last-second long shot, well past 30 yards, hit top right, and it was to put the team, it was to add an even bigger lead. It's crazy, and it was a beautiful shot as well. I think we kind of saw it coming. We said last 2 minutes you're going to either see a dud or a beautiful strike, and we saw a beautiful strike.
As time expired as well, to explain, there were 3 seconds left on the clock. Because that was the 6th goal, it became a running clock, and thus the game ended the way it did. Closing thoughts on Louisville?
We talked about it a little bit during the game, but this team is really strong. Today they were missing 2 starters, and they still showed utter control over the Aviators. I would say in every way. You put up 6 points without 2 of your starters, and, good things are bound to happen. I think we talked about it. There is going to be a playoff run with this team. They are very strong. No question about it.
As expected, heading into this season, the Louisville Leopards are legit. To stay up to date on all the games that we are covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and TikTok, SmeeSports LLC on Facebook and LinkedIn, and SmeeFest 2024 on Twitter. As we'll go down below and subscribe. Well, there is no added cost. It really helps with all that we do here at SmeeSports as we cover the best of the Cleveland and Stark County area. Next 3 days go like this. Now we're mixing them up the wrong way. It's Lake coming up next. That is going to mess with me in the next 24 hours. The Lake Blue Streaks come in here and take on the Aviators tomorrow at 7. That'll be followed by a 5:30 pregame show to be me and you and maybe Matt and maybe other people are randomly spawning into the Kara Stadium press box. But 5:30, you and I will be there as we get you ready for Alliance and Worcester football at 7. And then to close out the weekend is Tri-C and Owens Community College Soccer, a 2 p.m. kickoff live from Tri-C West. That'll be our first game in partnership with Tri-C in the fall as we begin our expansion out of just baseball. But for Cooper Fontaine, this is Nathan Smee signing off from the Rockhill Soccer Complex as you have been watching OHSAA Soccer on SmeeSports in partnership with Skyward Studios as this one finishes Louisville 6, Alliance 0.